I go to a lot of concerts, and I was just at a Taylor Swift concert recently out here, and one of the things I notice when you go to concerts, they are highly engaged and entertained. So if I give you guys 110%, will you guys give me 100% back? So now I'll be honest with you, I had planned for a lot of content. I'm going to really go very quickly. I'm from New York, but I do need engagement, so I'm going to do a couple audience participation things. So how many of you guys would like to make more money in less time? And how many of you guys would like to have maybe more happiness like me in your life? All right, and then how many of you probably aren't going to raise your hand no matter what I say? All right, I got 2 of you. Okay, I got 3. All right. All right, anyway, so listen. I think the best thing I could share with you in the few minutes we have tonight, and then tomorrow, join me in our breakout when I've got a little more time to go deeper. Here was the biggest frustration for me. I did good job recruiting, and it was very frustrating at times trying to follow up with people, and they may not show up at the meetings, or, you know, Hubert was always big, hold a meeting. And I invited a lot of people, and sometimes they showed and sometimes they didn't. What I learned was the people that I had much higher degrees of trust with, much more relationship capital, those people came, those people bonded. So I just want to teach you some simple principles in a few minutes so you guys can help more people. This is the most powerful skill in the world is your ability to connect, influence, persuade. But I really believe it's like the easy button of life. Whatever you want, someone else already has access to. And the thing is, now like as a matter of fact, Steve Gross and I were walking this morning, and I mentioned there's a famous celebrity in Hollywood that I would really love to connect with. It just so happens Ryan Seacrest lived next door to him pretty much his entire childhood. And it's something that I believe I can help his charity. And now here's the thing, just because Steve knows him does not mean he's going to open the door. So I want to teach you this one simple strategy. So Gallup says it's the #1 predictor of your success. What's interesting, it's not taught in school, it's not taught in most universities. Steve talked about it, Jody talked about it, Hubert talked about it. At the end of the day, it's all about relationships. Relationships are the key. Now here's the other thing about relationships. It's going to be the quality of your relationships that matters most. And how many of you guys have children or want to just understand a little quick secret on connecting with kids? I have 4 little nieces out in New York. One of my nieces, Lindsay, is very stingy on giving hugs. So I had to develop an incentive-based hugging system just to get some more hugs per visit. And when I bring SpongeBob and ice cream, more hugs per visit. Guys, the jokes are not going to get a whole lot better. That's about as good as this gets this late at night. Let's do 1 or 2 things. To someone that's your GC, your geographically convenient partner, I want you just to ask your neighbor 2 or 3 quick questions. Number 1, what do they do for fun? What are they most passionate about in life? And the third question I want you to ask them is, what are they most excited about right now? Now keep in mind, we only have a few seconds, so try to keep it for about 45 seconds between you each. Okay? What do you do for fun? What are you most passionate about in life? And what are you most excited about right now? So someone maybe you don't know as well, behind you, close to you, what have you. Okay? So if you guys have a cell phone, I want you guys to pull it out. So here's one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make in financial services and network marketing for that matter. I'm sure you all know people that have had well intentions, but maybe they have been so overly enthusiastic about an opportunity. They may have, their friends, their family, their business colleagues, they've kind of pushed them away, not intentionally. So here's what I want you to do. It's all about appreciation. So take your cell phone out and just text someone. It could be on your team. It could be a loved one. It could be a spouse. It could be a brother, sister. It could be a business partner. It could be an executive assistant, someone that's helping you. It doesn't matter. Someone you appreciate. Just text them right now. Tell them you're in Vegas. You're awesomely inspired by what's going on here at HGI, but you were thinking of them, and you just wanted to let them know how much you appreciate them. How much you appreciate them. Just send a simple text. I try to send a number of these kind of things every single day to people in my network. And whoever gets the first response back, just raise your hand. I'd be curious what the response is. Okay? So I'm going to let you guys do that while I move on. So again, just send a simple text message of appreciation. I tell you what I love doing. I actually take about 3 a day. I take video messages, and I just send out a simple little video. I just sent one yesterday to someone I've known for 25 years, just thanking him for being in my life, for helping me, for mentoring me, and just for being a friend. And he was very appreciative. People will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And it's going to be these simple little things that go. Hubert is the master at this. Would you guys not agree? Yes. He understands it. So does Jody. So what I want to do is challenge you just to think differently. So I'm going to share a few tips, and some of you may say, I know that. All I want you to ask yourself is, are you actually doing what you already know? These simple little things go a long way. So here's the thing. We're going to go do Q&A right now. Ready? So do you believe relationships are important to your success? I assume everyone would agree, yes? All right, so here, let's see how strong. Write this one word down, commitment. What does Hubert have? He has commitment. You know he is committed to building this into the next billion-dollar company, yes? Yes. Are you just as committed? So here's the thing, ready? Number one, do you have some form of permission-based newsletter just to stay in touch with your network over long periods of time, okay? So if you do, you're going to give yourself a yes. Next question, how many of you call your friends and clients or send them birthday cards or on their special occasions like their anniversaries? So are you calling them? Are you reaching out to them routinely to your entire network of clients? If you do, great. Give yourself another point. Next question, how many of you record the notes of your conversations either in your smartphone or in your CRM system or however you're keeping score? And I notice there's a CRM system out there which obviously is very helpful for all of you. So again, give yourself another yes. How many of you just stay in touch with people, not to recruit them, not to try to sell them anything, but just to stay in touch, just to reach out, see how they're doing? Again, if you got another yes. Here's another question. Do you know the 3 most important goals of your 50 most valuable relationships? Do you know what's important to them personally? Do you know what's important to them business-wise? Okay? Next question. How many of you know the 20% of your clients or strategic partners or associates that are going to provide you 80% of your money and future opportunities? Okay? How many of you have a strategic connection plan for your top 100 most valuable relationships? What I mean by that is, what events are you going to invite them to? What articles will you send to them? Who can you connect in your network that should know each other? Okay? I had one of my friends here, Greg. I don't know if Greg Hurley's still in the room, but Greg, he owns a number of financial services companies. About a year ago, I introduced him to Hubert, and I wanted to see and explore the opportunities, and I'm always trying to connect the network. I hope you're doing the same. Let's see. Next question. How many of you leverage trigger events? And here's what a trigger event is. A personal trigger event could be a birthday, an anniversary, special occasion. A business trigger event is someone got a promotion at their job, they just raised money for their company or whatever it might be. Trigger events are a great way to reach out and stay in touch. Just yesterday, I noticed on Facebook, one of the top trainers in all of network marketing won a poker tournament over the weekend in Vegas. I don't really know him that well. His name is Eric Worre, and he wrote a book called GoPro. And anyway, he beat 2,200 people. So on Facebook, I personally messaged him just congratulating him. And then literally 2 hours ago, I introduced him to someone in my network that runs charity poker tournaments for the homeless. Because I think that would be a good thing, yes? Yes or yes? Yes. All right, let's wake everybody up. All right, how many of you have a system where you can systematically reach out, create value for your most valuable relationships? Okay. So how many yeses? Who got three or yeses or more? Just raise your hand. All right. And who got 4 yeses or more? Stand up if you got 4 or more. Stand up. Who got 5 yeses or more? 6? Anyone get 7? I don't even know how many questions I even asked. Okay. All right. Here's another gift for you. The gift of being present. How many of you are at an event and you're looking over your shoulders? Just Bill Clinton, when you meet him, he is very present. President Obama, the same thing. So if you could just be present, that's a great gift that you can give to others at the opportunity meetings or wherever you're meeting folks, okay? Here's another quick connection exercise. We've already went over what do you do for fun, what are you most passionate about. I met with Jim, we had dinner yesterday, and I asked him again what he's most excited about in life. Now obviously he's super excited about growing HGI, but he's developed an idea for something to get lotion on someone's back, and a very interesting idea. And that's something that he was excited about. I also asked him what his favorite charity is and why. And he shared with me it's Tony Dungy's charity, and his son's 11 years old, Jimmy. And so I just got a chance to learn a little more about him. So here's what I want you to do, maybe 15 seconds or less this time. What is your favorite charity or cause and why? So ask someone right next to you, 15 seconds, favorite charity or cause and why. 15 seconds each so we can keep on moving. So can someone just shout out for me something that found something interesting about either their favorite cause, charity, and why? What was just one thing that was interesting? Does anyone? What was it?
Millionaire Friendship Club.
Millionaire Friendships Club? Okay, interesting. So again, the question behind it you always want to ask is why, because it enlightens you, okay? All right, write this formula down, and we'll spend more time on it tomorrow morning. Number one, you want to create a meaningful, authentic, personal connection. Number two, you want to find out what is most important to someone else. Number three, you want to help them get it. Number four, this is where the magic is. This is where I'm going to drill down into tomorrow. How do you become a VC? Not a venture capitalist, but a value creator. I want you guys to be a bigger resource. Give first, always add value. Remember Miller Lite had tastes great, less filling? Mine is give first, always add value. Okay? Can you guys just say that with me? Give first, always add value. If you just do that and you're more of a servant leader and serving more people in any way you can possibly do it, they're going to be much more receptive to hearing about HGI. They're going to be much more receptive to be hearing about that. I mean, I was blown away about that story. That was super touching. You guys are changing lives, right? Yes or yes? All right. So I'm going to just share a quick story on how I connected with President Clinton very quickly, but it goes back to that exact formula that I just showed you. I had a chance a few years ago to go to an event, and I thought I was going to have a brief, maybe about 20 people, just to have a conversation with the president. As it turned out, because he ran late, it was just a processional and a photo op. I was like, this is not really going to be the kind of thing I was looking for, but an hour beforehand, I called Ken Cragen, creator of We Are the World. Ken had did his inaugural ball years earlier. I said, just can you give me some insights? At the time, I was helping to raise money for We Are the World. And that was with Lionel Richie and Michael Bublé and Justin Bieber and Celine Dion and Barbra Streisand and all these people. And so I asked Ken a question. I said, Ken, can I invite President Clinton to We Are the World? He goes, that's a great idea. I said, well, I mean, can I invite him? He goes, yeah, absolutely. Even if you're the President of the United States, you get a lot of cool opportunities. But that is a pretty unique opportunity. It's always about thinking about the other person. It's always about giving first, always adding value. And literally within probably 30, 40 seconds, the president motioned over his Secret Service details to give me his contact so I could follow up with him, because it was something of value to him. And I come from a middle-class neighborhood in New York. We had one bathroom growing up. I didn't realize it was a big deal, but all five of us took a shower in this one thing. I'm kind of shy and introverted. I did not come out of the womb as a connecting machine. If you sat next to me on a plane, I probably wouldn't say a whole lot. But it's the questions you can ask others, and you can just be in service to others, which will make things a lot easier. So I want to just share with you one or two or a few examples just real quick before I end my time here. You may want to just write this down. You can help people with their career, obviously here with HGI, but maybe someone's got a health issue, and maybe it's just sending them an article. Recently, one of our friends, Kathy Sachs, was the VP of a software company, and she had heard me speak, and she wanted to hire me to go keynote a conference, and I was very excited. It took a long time to get this meeting, and she says, Larry, this is a bad day. My mom just came down with leukemia. And I said, what I'd like to do, with your permission, can I put you on the phone with someone who also dealt with leukemia with her father? It was my former partner, who unfortunately passed away. But I connected her with his daughter, and she said that was the single best call for her of the entire year, because that's what was important to her at that moment in time. She didn't really care about my speaking at her conference on that day, because her health would. So anyway, health, cause, travel, these are just some simple ideas. You can help others. So just some other simple things. Technology. How many of you guys get a lot of phone calls and voicemails? Google Voice is free. You can just plug it into your phone. It transcribes your messages, and you never have to check messages again. I shared this with Bob Bodine, who's part of my network. He gets about 100 calls a day because he's an executive recruiter. And it saves him almost a half hour a day. That's a big deal, something very simple. Here's another simple example of just giving value first. Jeff Hazlett, again, part of my network. He's written several best-selling books. He's on Bloomberg. He sent me an email a couple years ago, 12 and a half ways to help Jeff. I send this same email. I didn't write the email, but anytime I find someone who's going to write a book or have a book out, I just send it to him. It talks about how to help online, social media, or whatever. Hubert's coming out with a book. I'm going to send that same email to Hubert. And here's another simple idea. I was at an event very similar to this, and I talked to a friend of mine. I asked him how he's doing. By the way, you always want to ask about the kids first, because sometimes there's divorce with the spouse. I go, how's your wife doing? She goes, she wants full custody of the kids, and we're going through a divorce. I was blown away. I said, hey, with your permission, can I introduce you to someone in my network that runs a divorced dad's network? At that moment in time, that was a value, yes? Are these all little things that you guys could do? You all have tremendous networks. You guys have great products, great services, but the more you give, it's just going to be a lot easier to get them to listen. I think books are the single greatest thing. You can just share a book, share an idea. We're all here in Vegas. I don't know how many of you have ever been to Zappos. How many women here have shopped at Zappos? Tony Shea is part of our Saying Network, but they give free tours. Most people don't know about it. So at the end of the day, I always recommend taking a tour at Zappos, but I'll send the email introduction to someone at Zappos. Again, it's free, just simple, quick little things you can do. All right, last thing before we go, write this question down. What is one thing on your bucket list? This is a great question to ask anyone. It'll give you insights in terms of where they want to go, in terms of what's important to them. Here's the most powerful question. How can I help you? Hubert and I had this conversation no more than 5 weeks ago. I said, Hubert, let me teach strategies so people can build relationships faster, add more value faster. If they add more value faster, they can recruit faster, they can enroll more people faster. That's the only reason I'm here, strictly out of service. Make sense? Okay. All right. I'm just going to click one or two things. I got to wrap up. Okay. We'll cover the rest tomorrow. Let me just share with one last thing. I would like for you to create magic moments in your life and in other people's life. I'm just going to show you one magic moment, and then I'm going to conclude and hand it back to Jim. So hopefully this video will play. I don't know. We'll find out. I went to go surprise my mom on her 70th birthday, probably just three years ago. And I was kind of busy being in California, but it's important. One of the things I do every single day, I would encourage all of you, reaching out, singing people birthdays, reaching out on those special occasions is a big deal. This just happens to be, I don't know if I realized the audio thing is not plugged in, that's why. I've never seen my mom so happy in my entire life. And all I would ask each of you, if you could go out and create magic moments, just 3 a day. If you could touch 3 people a day in some way, shape, or form, if you're going to add value to them, I just think it's going to be a lot easier for you to accomplish your goals, your dreams, your desires. Long story short, I was so glad that I went because literally 1 week later from my mom's 70th birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nana Mama. Happy birthday. Oh my God. Happy birthday.
So, in closing, my mom literally passed away 7 days later from a heart attack in her sleep. But I mean, that was the moment that I will always remember. And that's why I encourage each of you to create magic moments for other people. So, tomorrow morning at 8:30, I would love to help add value, answer any questions, go deeper, spend more time because we didn't have time today. And I just wanted to really just say thank you. Take the Connection Challenge over the next 30 days, help 3 people a day. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning. May you guys connect and grow rich. Thank you.